Hey everybody. It is 10:40 p.m. March 7th. How y'all doing? I'm doing all right. Pretty good. It's been a interesting weekend. Went on a date. And it was a pretty good one. But let's start. So, let's see. Last video I did on Thursday. So, let's talk about Friday. So, Friday, what happened Friday? Okay, so Friday I get a text from Jill, right? Jill, the Korean girl. And because I asked her out Thursday, I think. I either asked her out Thursday or asked her out Friday. No, I asked her out Thursday. And on Friday, I asked her if she wanted to, wander around the city on Sunday. If the weather is good. And according to the weather forecast, it was not going to be good. She texted me on Friday. She was like, looks like it's going to rain on the weekend. And I was like, yeah, looks like that's what it's going to do. And I kind of took that as she doesn't want to come out. And then Claire, who I still don't know the ethnicity of. She's maybe Hispanic, maybe South Asian. But she texted me and asked if I wanted to go to the zoo on Saturday at 3 p.m. Because she asked me Monday if I wanted to go on Tuesday. But I was working, I was like, yeah, sounds cool. Well, let's do that. So I go online to buy tickets for the zoo. And they're all sold out for Saturday. I was like, oh. So I text her. I was like, hey, tickets are sold out. And she's like, oh, I didn't realize that. It's like, you know what? She said she was about to head to work, but she'll think of something else. I was like, all right, cool. Sounds cool. And a few hours pass. I was like, you know what? I'll ask her out for something. So there's like a Chinese garden thing next to the zoo. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll ask her out if she wants to do that. So I text her if she wants to, go see that. She said, yeah, let's meet at 1:30 because it closes at like 4 o'clock. And then, bought the tickets and got off work. And when I got off work, just played video games for a little bit and then went to bed. Now, Saturday, I wake up around like 9. No, I wake up at like 10 a.m. We're supposed to meet at 1:30. I'm like, oh, I better get ready. So I recently bought these Chelsea boots. They're black. They're the Thursday boots Duke in a gloss black color. And I wanted to really wear them for some reason. I just had to wear them, but I don't have like an outfit that really goes with it. So I'm like stressing for hours. What the fuck am I going to wear, right? Because for some reason I just had to wear those particular shoes. So I finally decided on these like kind of dark blue jeans, a grayish t-shirt with this black like very light fleece coat. And I didn't think I looked that good, but it was like 12 p.m. at that point because I also had to style my hair and shit. And then I realized, oh fuck, I forgot to shave. I don't have enough time because it's this garden is kind of far out. It's going to be a 30-minute drive to get there. But it was 1 p.m. I was like, fuck it, time to go. So I shoot her a text telling her I'm on my way. And she confirms she's also, she'll see me there. And I'm driving and I'm riddled with anxiety, man. I just feeling so bad. It's like what the fuck am I gonna talk about? Do I look okay? Just really worried about stuff like that. And then traffic is also super bad. I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna be fucking late? It takes 30 minutes to get there, and I left at exactly 1 o'clock. I gotta be there at 1:30 because I guess because of the COVID restrictions, they're really strict about, if you don't show up on time, they don't let you in. I was like, so didn't like that. And then, the weather is decent, right? We're gonna be outdoors, but then it starts pouring rain like super hard. And I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks. Now I'm getting like a little irritated because I'm stuck in traffic. I'm scared I'm going to be late. I'm worried if this date is even going to go well. I've been talking to this girl since, mid-February. And that's also one thing that really worried me because we've been texting for a while. And I'm thinking, and, we've been trying to go out for a while too. Right, we made three attempts already, or maybe 4. And it's like, she probably has like high hopes for me, So there's anxiety from that, and I'm just like really pissed off, And I'm actually starting to think about, calling it off. Like, the weather is bad now. Probably shouldn't be out. You don't want to be walking around in the rain, do you? And then finally I get off the freeway and I'm in the city and I'm driving to the place and it's still pouring rain. I'm like just a couple of miles away from the destination. And then I get a text from her. And it's I'm thinking, oh, maybe she called it off, because of the rain. Right? We've already had to call off a few meetups because of the weather. Maybe she's doing it again. It was like a voice message text. I didn't know you can even do that. And it's just like her saying, that she forgot her umbrella and looks like the weather's pretty bad, but, see you there anyways. I'm like, oh. And as soon as I listened to that text, the rain just stopped. And then the sun came out. It was weird. Anyways, I get to the garden. I tell her I'm there, and she tells me what she's wearing so I can find her. And I'm walking up to the front, or like the entrance, and I see her. And man, she is so much cuter in person. She was very short, maybe like 5'2", around there. Curly hair, kind of like very small face, sharp chin. She was really cute, and she immediately recognized me, and she came up, and then like she went for the hug, and I was like unprepared, so I kind of turned my body away, and it was awkward. I gave her like a nice, one arm side hug. I was like, hey, it's nice to finally meet you. And she said, yeah. And then we went into the place and we walked around, and there was like no flowers to see because, it's a garden, but it's not quite spring yet. It's pretty cold still. And, I don't even really remember what we talked about as we were going through. The architecture was cool. There was like a lot of like these Chinese buildings we went through. And, we both like anime, so I was like, yeah, this building's kind of like in the animes, where, how they're like scrubbing the floors by like running along and stuff. What did we really talk about? Oh yeah, I told her a few stories from my childhood. Like one time I told her a story how I fell down this hill and rolled into like a bunch of poison ivy as a kid. She thought that was really funny. I didn't think it was that funny, but she thought it was really funny. And she talked about like her schoolwork. She's studying biology. She talked about she's like new to the city. She's only been living in the area since August. You know, and I've been in here pretty much my whole life. We just talked about ourselves for a bit. And you know, it's and she was like really touchy. Like I would like make like small jokes. Or every time she would make like a little joke, she would like slap my arm. Occasionally she would like grab my sleeve. And is that is that like flirting? I don't really know. I think so. And that's the first time I really encountered that. So yeah, I think she was like really flirty. So yeah, so we went through the entire garden. There wasn't really that much to look at. It wasn't a very big place. And a lot of sections were kind of closed for COVID reasons. There was a little kind of art exhibit that was kind of cool. I like that. I talked about how like one of the photos reminded me of the movie The Grudge. Scary movie. I talked about how like that movie like kind of traumatized me as a kid because the commercial would come on while I was trying to sleep. She thought that was funny. So yeah, we were there. We were leaving like the garden and we were like making it back to the parking lot. We were only there for like maybe 40 minutes, about an hour, not more than an hour, that's for sure. You know, not much to see at that place, but it was cool. And then she mentioned like there's a park nearby. She asked if I wanted to go see that. I was like, yeah, let's go walk through the park. It looked like there was a little trail to walk along there. So she gave me like the address to it. And I got in my car and I drove over there. And it wasn't really a park. It was like just like this spot on the side of the road. Maybe that's just the spot she chose, but I saw her car there. So I parked next to her car. And it was just like this section of grass next to some trees, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I saw her there. It was just her. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to be sitting alone with a girl. This is really scary. So we go over there, or I go down over there. And I sit down in the grass with her. And we're just talking. Like, she talked about her dog for a little bit. I talked about my family. You know, talked about some of my hobbies. I told her how, like, I'm a big fan of fighting games. And, you know, I want to go to, like, fighting game tournaments and stuff when COVID ends. It's funny because, you know, I kind of avoided those fighting game meetups back when I started this channel. That was one of my goals, of the goal there to make friends. I never did that. But I was telling her that's like something I want to do, which is it is, you know, and I really regret not doing that 2 years ago. But when COVID ends, I'm definitely going to try that. And she's like, oh yeah, gaming's cool. Never really got into gaming. She played a little bit of like some RPGs, but she had a sister who was really into gaming. She told me about her for a little bit. And we both made like some jokes. I can't even remember what they were, but yeah, she was even like flirtier when we were out there alone. She like laid down, so I laid down next to her, and we were just like watching the clouds. By this time, like the skies was clear. It was just like it was nice. Blue sky, a little bit of clouds, and like at one point she just sort of placed her hand on my chest. That was man, cool, I guess. Not sure what that's about. And we sat back up and we talked some more. Talked for maybe like an hour or something. And it was like, it was like the weather was like clear and stuff. Sun was out, but it was still very cold. It was like maybe 55 degrees. And I'm just wearing, a thin t-shirt and a very light fleece jacket. She had a lot more layers than I did. And I'm like visibly shivering because it's pretty cold. And she was like, "You look really cold." And she started like rubbing my arm. Yeah, that's cool. But we started like running out of things to talk about. And she was talking like, she was saying like, after this, she's going to go to the grocery store because she's got to get groceries. And I'm like, but I didn't really want it to end because I was really, I really enjoyed just kind of being with her. And I was pretty hungry. So, because I had like a few bites of a sandwich before I left. That's all I had. Because there was not like, I wasted too much time like stressing over what to wear and stuff. So I said, "Hey, you want to go get something to eat?" And she's like, "Yeah, that sounds cool." So, I don't really know the area that we're in too well. So I get on my phone and I'm looking for places that are nearby that have like dine-in, that allow dine-in. And I'm thinking, what should we get? What should we get? And I haven't had sushi in a while, so I asked her, if she likes sushi. And she said, "Yeah, sushi's good." So I'm looking at sushi places, and as I'm scrolling on my phone, she kind of like, rests her head on my shoulder. That was really nice. I like that. I mentioned like my hands are really cold because it's so cold out there. And she's like, "Why don't we go sit in your car?" I was like, "Okay." So we get up and we get in my car. She like laughs because my car is very small. It's a Miata, little 2-seater, and I keep it real nice. And our shoes are dirty because we were like walking in the grass. And she's like, gets in super carefully because I vacuumed my car the day before. I was like, "Ah, you feel so bad about dragging dirt." She's like, "Yeah, you keep your car so nice." And she slapped my arm again. And I'm still looking for like a place, and we finally settled on a restaurant that's nearby. I send her the address, and she gets in her car, and we go. She gets there before I do, because it's like the downtown area, and the streets are super narrow, and there's tons of cars, and parking sucks so much here. But I finally find a spot, and she texts me that she's already there, and she got us a table. And I go in, and she's sitting like, it's like a table with a bench, and then the other side is just like 2 chairs, and she's sitting on the bench side. And I go and I sit down like next to her, because I don't want to sit on those like hardwood chairs. I want to sit on the bench. It's cushioned. So I'm sitting right next to her, And we're looking at the menu, and it's just like one menu, right? We don't get our own menus. It's just one menu. We're sharing it. And she's like scooting like really, really close to me, like our bodies are touching, to look at this menu. Like her head is like in front of mine. That's how close she was. That's cool. That's really nice. But we decide on what to get, and I go up to order. And at this place, you pay at the counter. You don't pay. They don't give you a bill at the end. You just pay at the counter. So I go up there and I order for us. And she's like, "Yeah, thanks for getting us lunch." I didn't really think much about it. It's like, yeah, well, no problem. Then she says, "I'll get the next one." Okay. Sounds good. And we're sitting and we're waiting for food, and she asks if my hands are still cold. And then she grabs my hand, and I hold hers for like a little bit. Is this flirting? It's pretty cool. And we're just waiting for the food, and they're playing good music here, man. They're playing like late 90s, early 2000s, like R&B, Usher, some Nelly. And I'm a huge Usher fan. I think Usher is pretty fantastic. So I mentioned that, and I wish I could dance like Usher. Usher is cool. You ever see his music videos? Confessions? Or which one was it? The one where he's dancing in the rain? I think that's Burn. It's either Confessions or Burn, where he's dancing on the street in the rain. There's my phone. But she's like, yeah, she mentions how she wants to take like dance classes when the pandemic ends, which is actually something I want to do too. So it's like, oh, that sounds really cool. That's what I want to do too. And I, because we both like anime. She was like talking about like the words, what few words she knows in Japanese, like the word for chopstick or something. And I make this like really dumb joke. Like, I know, what did I say? I said, I know the most important words, like Rasengan and Chidori. And she thought that was like the funniest thing ever. She laughed super loud. It wasn't even that funny. But, man, she laughed about that for a good while. But then the food comes out, and it's good. Yeah, I got the tuna. That's my favorite sushi. She got like California roll, classic. We both had tea. Yeah. After we finished eating, we just sat a little longer and just kept talking. There were a few like long, awkward silences. Every time it would get kind of quiet, she would just ask, what am I thinking? Or what am I thinking about? And it's like, I'm not really thinking about anything. As I would just say, like, this place looks cool. I like the kind of rustic, rundown look it has. Or the buildings in the city are nice. I wanted to tell her how pretty her eyes were, but I didn't really have the guts to say that. But yeah, we finished eating and decide to get up and go. So we leave the restaurant and we start walking back to my car. And I tell her, thanks for coming out with me tonight. You know, it was fun. And she says, yeah, thanks for treating me to lunch. And she says that I was the first guy that, since coming here, that she actually spent more than an hour with. And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, she gives me a really big hug, and it was nice. She like squeezed me really tight. Yeah, that was cool. And we say goodbye, and I get in my car, and I'm just driving home, and I'm feeling really good. You know, it was fun. You know, I'm just driving with this big ass stupid grin on my face. And as I'm driving, I get a text from her. I didn't know it was a text. It was like my phone notification went off, but I don't check my phone while I'm driving because that's stupid, right? But I'm thinking maybe that's her. Maybe she texted me or something. So when I got to a stoplight, I checked my phone, and it was a text from her, and it was a text saying, thanks for taking me out or thanks for spending the afternoon with me and having lunch. It was really fun. She said she'd like to come over sometime and make me dinner and just hang out, if that's cool. Oh man. That sounds terrifying. A girl wants to come to my house? And I said, yeah, that sounds cool. I think I'd enjoy that. So I guess maybe next weekend I'll ask her to come over. Oh man, I just thinking about it makes me really nervous. But yeah, that was my date with Claire from Tinder. Man, what the fuck are we gonna do? You think we might have sex? I like her. I like her. She's yeah. I think she's cool. So, anyways, that's my Saturday. Today's Sunday. I didn't really do anything Sunday. Oh yeah, I did set up that date with Jill, the Korean girl. And then, she mentioned that weather might not be good. And, I was honestly not really feeling it. I didn't really want to go out. Kind of just wanted to chill at home and do some chores around the house. So I ended up not texting her. Honestly, I was kind of like, I was a little sapped, That date with Claire really took it out of me. And, I sat down for a bit and just thought about it that day. What exactly was I, what did I do, Is that just how she is? Is she just like flirty like that? But, I mean, if she wants to come over and make dinner, it means she likes me, right? I mean, is that something she does? I don't know. We'll just go with it. But yeah, around like 6 p.m. while I'm like cleaning my kitchen, I decide to text Jill. I just ask her how her day or how her weekend is going. And no reply yet. Maybe she's not interested anymore. That's fine. Because I do want to meet her. If she does reply, I'm gonna try to set up a day during the weekday to hang out with her. I got I got time off at work that I can use, so I'll use that to hang out with her. But if not, that's fine, because I really like Claire. And yeah, that's my weekend. Thanks for listening, as always. I'll see you guys maybe next week. No, definitely next week.